Hey everybody, Average Picker here. It's going to be a bit of a different-ish kind of video and maybe a bit boring. This is an ASSA Flexcore. I have two of these that I procured a long time ago, and they're my nemesis lock. They have, everything says I should be able to pick it, and yet I've never been able to until about 3 hours ago. I got my first open on it. So I'm going to try to do it again, right? I mean, if you can't do it twice. So yeah, this is more of just a glorified practice session. And now I tried a number of picks, including this amazing little pick. It's a pretty nice pick from Fast Charlie. It's just, God, it's so functional. It's incredible. But I tried that. I tried some other higher reaches and some DeForests, because if we look at the keyway, that would suggest that that's what we need. In the end, though, I got it with my worn out Attila, so we're going to go back to it and try it some more. If we do get an open, we're not going to be gutting it. I don't really have a way to gut this lock. I need one of those things. I've got I don't know even what they're called. I've got one of these, that kind of slides in and helps hold the stuff. But for pinning purposes, getting the driver pins out, there's like this tube that you twist or something. I don't really know what it's called. I need to get a hold of one of those. So yeah, we won't be gutting this. I really don't want to cut these in half or anything like that. But we're going to see what happens here. The pins on these, I have seen them, and they're pretty interesting pins. I'm also going to say I am not really expecting an open. So this video may have some long, quiet bouts and ultimately no payoff. Or who knows, maybe. Maybe I'll get a second open, and that would be freaking fantastic. Oh, so I know from my previous open there is this little tiny nudge. It's not what you would call false set. It's just a little tiny click over when you move the first pin finally. And that is when you're on the right track. It's still a minute away from opening. Well, not a literal 1 minute, but one of my problems with this lock is I'm using quite hard tension. And what I found is I do what probably a lot of beginners do. It's hard to keep these pins set. They almost have little T-cuts, I think, on the tips of them. But as I get them to set, they're very easy to drop. And I will start using more and more tension sometimes to hold it, or to try to hold them. And I've really got to remind myself to relax that tension a little bit. You can probably hear these little tiny clicks as I move along, and that is those pins dropping back. In fact, I've already re-tipped off one. They will give little tiny bits of counter rotation, little tiny bits, almost indiscernible. It's not like counter rotation on a spool. Just did a reset. Okay, that's the little tip off again. God, I want another open. The pins, I've also discovered they're a little difficult to get a good solid lift on it. The pick definitely wants to roll off of the pins. I don't know why they call it a Flexcore either. If you happen to know, I would like to know. I don't, for the life of me though, I don't know why I have so many issues with this lock. I mean, that's just a nemesis lock for you, I guess, right? I mean, see, so I just let off tension, and enough had dropped that only one pin was set. So I feel like I've kind of got most of the binding order. I mean, I can end up in the same partway through it spot pretty readily. Oh, that was bad. That was bad. Yeah. Nothing's wanting to set now. I was very ecstatic to get the open earlier. And it was nice. Like I said, there's just everything says I should be picking these left and right. And whatever reason. I should also just be clear, I'm not 100% positive this is an ASSA Flexcore. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. I put out a couple calls into the community. That's what it kept kind of coming back around to. Let's try going the other way. A funny story though, I said I had two of these. Some of you probably already know this story if you've been watching my channel for a while. If you've not, this is a new story. So I found this really early in my picking, kind of a recycled surplus or recycled hardware store. And I found one, it had two keys. And oh man, I searched and I searched and I searched. I mean, I must have been there over an hour digging through buckets. And then this is a place I went back to fairly regularly. I kept it on kind of a pretty steady rotation. And I would go back there about once a month. And a year later, I found another one of these. That in itself might not seem too crazy, except when I got it home, I thought, what are the odds? And I stuck the original key in. I think I've got better chance going clockwise. I stuck the second key in from the one I'd purchased a year before. And lo and behold, they were a matched pair, which is kind of crazy. I wonder if I need to do another lift back here before Now that all feels pretty good. 2 is a little bit bound. 1 definitely feels like it's the one that wants to go. Yeah. Okay, gotta remember, relax tension. Don't just keep getting harder. Because of the way those pins are cut, though, I think I'm getting hung up on the tips in the shear line. And then as I go to lift one past that tip, of course, that's where the main part of the pin is. Oh, that was good. And that's what causes all those other little pins to drop, because they're just sitting on those tips. So much is springy again in there. Okay, that was a good sign. That was not a good. Yeah, everything just feels springy again. It's interesting because, too, the second pin is actually a little bit higher of a lift than, see, only one thing said, it's actually a little bit higher of a lift than what the key suggests. Well, that was a good one. There we go, there we go. I could hear those little tips dropping. Okay, everything's feeling pretty good in there. Something definitely keeps creaking down. I'm only going to run this video to about the 15-minute mark, if you guys are wondering. Did I overset pin 1? No. God. It's a very talkative lock. Okay, everything back there feels all right. So something has got to be going on up here in the front. And I think it's just down between our pins 1 and 2. Even though 1 sets is about the 3rd pin, you end up having to work it a couple times. Nope. I just unsprung everything again. Yep. On that pin 2. Okay, we're going to put one more little effort into it here. I'll show you the key too when we're done. You can see a bit what I'm talking about. There's like some kind of balance in this thing though. Like, it's almost like you've got to be a little rough with your tensioning and a little delicate with your picking. Yeah, I'm out of sync with it. So yeah, there we go. We're at about the 14-minute mark, so I'll go ahead and cut it short there. So yeah, hopefully soon I will capture an opening on camera. There's our key. So you can see that second pin seems to be the last one that needs to go. But something about when I'm lifting it, I'm causing some of the other things to drop. So yeah, there we go. Hopefully I'll be able to capture an open very soon on it. But I did get it, and that gives me the confidence, you know, right? Did it once, can do it again. It can't thwart me for as long as it has at this point, right? It has been beaten. All right, everybody. There we go. Have a good one.